Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Getting to Know Marshall Mo, where we will explore and get to know the different places and businesses in Marshall and the faces behind them. I'm your host, Jacob Phillips, Realtor Associate with Swinger Realtors right here in Marshall. Today I have the opportunity to sit down with Mrs. Danielle Callanan, beloved teacher at MHS and the Career Center here in Marshall. Thanks for joining me, Danielle.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I wanted to start right at the beginning. You've been a teacher. You were my psychology teacher. You went to Missouri Valley, right?
Yes.
And got your degree there, and then and start. So how long have you been teaching now?
This is year 16 for me.
Wow.
So, and yes, I had you. We won't talk about how long ago that was, but yes, I had you in psychology.
Yeah. Yep. What made you decide to be a teacher? I think you have family background in it.
I do. My aunt is an activities director, or was. She's retired. My dad taught middle school math for 28 years. My mom is a substitute teacher. She worked for the juvenile system as well. And so we've always worked with kids, and I was just like, okay, I guess I'll do that. I also worked at summer camp. And I loved being in the outdoor environment with kids. I loved getting to interact with them and be outside and play. And I thought, well, why not work in a classroom?
Sure.
And so that's what I've done.
Are you still coaching?
I'm not coaching currently.
I think you were, but I wasn't sure. Is there anybody in your life that really influenced you to make that career choice, or was it just the family background in it?
I think more so the family background. For me, it was I had gone to summer camp, and I loved being at camp, and I loved getting to see kids trying things and working with kids. I got to worked at a summer camp in Missouri, Minnesota, California, and I did rock climbing and lifeguarding, ropes course. I worked on a ropes course. So just all the things that canoeing, kayaking, got to go take kids on trips, to other areas where they've never been and try new things. And I thought, well, why not teach? Because then I can do that all the time, and we could do fun and exciting things, and kids get to be kind of out of their comfort zone and trying different things that maybe they didn't do before.
That's awesome. What's the best part, and maybe you just answered that, what's the best part of being a teacher for you?
I think seeing kids outside of the school setting after they've graduated, because I teach high school, and so seeing people like you out in the community making a difference and being positive and just seeing kids growing and, being real life grown-ups, I think is a lot of fun for me to see them, successful after high school. And that's, always our goal as teachers is we want you to be productive citizens and contribute to our community and make it a better place. Sure.
Well, and that's got to be a big part of the reward for you as well. What's been your most positive teaching experience in the short 16 years?
In the short, brief time. The past 2 years I've been with Educators Rising, and we've gotten to take trips outside of the state. So I took a group of 6 kids to Washington, D.C. to compete in nationals. I took a group of 6 kids this past summer to Orlando, Florida to compete in nationals. And we were able to do some really fun things in DC. We went to the Holocaust Museum, we went to the National Monuments, we rode the subway, things that kids from Marshall, Missouri, or Slater, Missouri, or Malta Bend, Sweet Springs, I have sending schools, that they wouldn't normally get to do, in Marshall or in the community. And that to me has been so positive, because it's not necessarily me teaching, but it's getting the opportunity to give them experiences that they wouldn't normally have.
Sure.
So that to me was really rewarding. This summer we took kids to the beach and they got to see the ocean. So I had several kids who've never seen the ocean, and the joy on their face. And they're like, can we get in? I'm like, well, sure, yeah, you can get in. It's fine. There's a lifeguard. We'll swim right here. And they were so excited. And I got to teach them how to boogie board.
Oh, wow.
And that was a ton of fun, because I still got it and I didn't embarrass myself. And it was just a blast. So I think just giving kids those experiences they wouldn't normally get to have, even if it's not necessarily in a school setting, but it's a part of school.
Sure. So what is Educators Rising? That's the big part of why I wanted to come and visit with you. And I know my mom, as a secretary at Eastwood, is a big fan. So just tell me about it and tell us about it, and if there's a way anybody can help, and just share with us.
Well, if you have days, I can tell days.
We'll
So
get there.
I have Teaching Professions, which is our class, and it's a 3-hour block at the Career Center, open to all juniors and seniors in Saline County. And I have sending school kids, 2 from Sweet Springs this year, and they're fantastic.
Good.
And so it's open to them, and we have our CTSO. It's our Career and Technical Student Organization, and that meets after school. We have a monthly meeting, monthly activity, but it's all related to teaching in the classroom. So it's a national organization, and we are just geared toward, growing our own teachers in the community and trying to get kids to come back here and teach with us, where they grew up. And so this year I have 12 students, and this is the biggest our program has been since I've taken it over. It's been around for 5 years. This is my 4th year doing it though. So this is the largest we've had it. And we do monthly activities. So tomorrow we're doing a scavenger hunt just with our group so they can get to know each other a little bit better because of a morning and an afternoon block. And then we have our monthly meeting where we talk about fundraising ideas. We discuss our competitions. So all of my students will compete in a state competition in Fulton in March. And they get to pick their competition. A lot of them are they create a lesson plan, and then they have to actually go and teach that at an elementary school or high school, middle school, wherever they're interested. Wow. And they record themselves and cut it down to a 10-minute clip that they then send to the judges, and they do a Q&A follow-up with the judges, and they send in all the materials they used for their lesson.
Sure.
Other ones, they observe teachers, and then they create a presentation on that teacher. Other kids get to write speeches, so there's 15 different competitions they can choose from to compete in. Wow. The top 10 in the state all qualify for nationals. So last year, all of my kids who competed in state went on to nationals.
Wow.
And I had one place 9th in the nation, and there were over 3,000 kids at our competition.
That's very cool.
So that was really neat experience. Kylie Allen graduated a few years ago. She took 1st in lesson planning and delivery for STEM in the nation. So that was a really big deal. Fantastic. Taylor Boyd took 3rd in the nation, and Taylor Boyd took 4th in the nation, and Lily Wade took 3rd in their competition. So I've had some success with our students, and they've got to see kind of what it looks like and meet kids from all over the country. We met a lot of students last year from Alaska, which was really interesting. They came to Orlando, Florida, and
that's a change.
Came to our competition. So we also do a service project each year. Last year we did a book drive just within the school district. Asked students if they have old books, they can please feel free to donate, and we were going to fill the little free libraries. Well, we had over 900 books, and we're like, okay, well, this is overwhelming the little free libraries. We don't need this many books. What are we going to do with them all? So the students decided that we would donate to the kindergarten and 1st grade at Spainhauer. So we read a book to them as an assembly, and then we created bookmarks for each of the kids that they could color. We put stickers in the book where it says this book belongs to, so they got to write their name on it, and then they all got to select a children's book because we had an overwhelming, everybody was willing to donate. It was awesome. And it was probably our favorite service project we've done. So we're looking at doing something like that again this year, maybe geared toward early childhood, Head Start, preschool age, getting books for those kids this year. And that was probably the most fun service project we had because those kids were ecstatic to get to keep a book. So our organization does a lot for the community. We try to focus more on schools and children, but we're willing to help wherever. We do a lot of fundraising though. Our student population, as you know, in Marshall is socioeconomic is maybe not the best, and so we try to do it so the kids don't have to pay to go on these trips, but they do have to fundraise. So we will have our 2nd annual kickball tournament in October. Okay. And it's $5 a person to enter. It is
what day in October?
Sunday, October, I believe 22nd or 23rd, whatever that Sunday is, at 1 o'clock here at the high school.
And can anyone participate?
Anyone can participate and get a team together. Just shoot me an email that you're going to have a team, 10 to 12 players, and it's just $5 to enter, and per person as you come in the gate, just pay $5. And
so that's per person, not team?
Yeah, per person, and then that's one of our big fundraisers, and we had a lot of fun with it last year. We had several teams. We had some adult teams. We had some high school teams. So it's high school age and up can play in the tournament. Okay,
so when we say, are you like freshmen on up?
Freshmen on up through
14 plus, I guess. Okay. Yep. Okay. Anything else that we need to know? Are there other ways that the community can support Educators Rising? Or?
Yes, we've had some great support from community businesses and members. The Malta Bin American Legion donated a vast sum of money to us last year in order to support our trip to Orlando and get our kids to compete. And they were super supportive of that and wanting the kids we were able to go to SeaWorld and just see things they wouldn't normally get to. So that was a blast. So they donated. Break of Dawn Cafe was a huge supporter of ours, and we really appreciate that. It was fantastic. So we've had some great community support. Our students do go around and ask for donations if anybody is willing to donate. And we have different levels of sponsorship. So you can get on the back of our shirt. We'll thank you on our social media pages, those types of things. So we appreciate any and all support we can get. We'd love to hear from community members if people want to come and talk about their educational experience, whether it be at college, a preschool, it could be private school, so anything like that. We're willing to listen and hear more about it because they're learning about not just public school education, but education in general, what it takes to be a teacher or work in a school.
That's awesome. What I was confusing it, and my mom kind of set me straight a little bit, but if you can briefly, what's the difference between Ed Rising and like Future Teachers of America, or if you don't mind?
So Educators Rising, we have more competitions. Future Teachers of America is more getting kids into the classroom. They do more of like a cadet experience.
Gotcha.
And so for us in Marshall, our cadet experience, which I also run that, those kids are working in high school classrooms because we don't have the transportation or the time to get kids to other buildings in our school district. With Educators Rising, in our teaching professions class, these kids are getting out there. It's a 3-hour block, so they can go observe at other classes. My teaching professions 2 students who took it last year. So this year they're working they get to choose the grade level they want to work in and participate in. So they're working, both of them were interested in lower elementary grades. So they're in first grade classrooms and they work with Miss Diaz's class and Miss Gieselman's classes, and they're in the classroom working 3 days a week.
That's awesome.
So for our 3-hour block, they're in there helping the teacher and working in the classroom. And so that's really the goal of our program, is to get those kids into the classroom and seeing as much of the classroom as they can, so they know when they go to college they can make that informed decision that, oh, I do want to be a teacher and I had that experience in high school, rather than getting to college, paying for it, and then realizing it's not something they want to do.
Sure.
They can also take it for dual credit. So my teaching professions class, they can we go through Missouri Valley College, and so they can earn Intro to Teaching as a credit, and they can also earn their practicum experience. And so they can get, 4 college credit hours out of the way just by taking this class for 1 year.
Wow.
And that's pretty phenomenal.
That's
and
a big deal.
helps kind of alleviate some of those costs later on.
Sure. So what are and if this is an approach, I don't know if this is an approach you can take with it, but what are some of the qualities that you try to instill to someday teachers? What are qualities that are important to you and that you hope to pass on to your students in this program?
I think our big focus is classroom management, and to be an effective teacher, you have to have a well-managed class. But how do you do that? You have to build positive relationships with your students. You have to maintain professional boundaries, obviously, but you also have to support your students in all that they do, and they have to know that you truly care about them and want them to be successful. My husband and I have always gone to every sporting event there was, even before he was the activities director. We went to everything. We went to the fall plays and musicals and spring plays. We went to choir and band concerts. So we've tried to do our best to support our students, and we enjoy seeing them succeeding in the things they do, not just in the classroom, but outside of it.
Sure.
And so that's always been a big focus for me, is I hope my students realize that if you're supporting your kids, not just in the classroom, but in their other endeavors, they're going to see that, and they're going to work harder for you, in the classroom, and know that you care about them, because you're going to go watch them do stuff and cheer them on, whether it's playing goalie in a soccer game or singing in the choir. So if kids see that, then hopefully they know you care about them, you want them to be successful.
Yeah, and I can attest to that it's when you see your teachers out there supporting you, it's a different relationship. And I personally think, for the most part, I was blessed with great teachers all through school, and I think Marshall has a lot of great teachers, and So what as a teacher makes you proud to be an Al or to be in Marshall?
I love our small town, diverse community. We moved away to Texas for 3 years. We just wanted to change, and we're like, let's try somewhere else. And we moved to Texas. We loved it. We lived in Dallas, Fort Worth, but Marshall really felt like home. We missed it. We missed our friends here that had become family, and we were like, well, we could go back. There's some teaching jobs open, and so we decided we moved back to be. Plus, my parents live 3.5 hours away from here, which is much closer than the 10 we were driving from Texas. So we decided we moved back here, and we missed it, and we just loved the idea of raising our daughter in a small town with teachers who truly care about her, and they know her. Everybody knows each other,
right.
For the most part. And we live in a small town, but it has that diversity. And we wanted our child to experience that diversity and, be able to eat at other restaurants that she may not get a chance to in other places, and
Sure.
and experience other cultures and hear other languages and, see people who are different from her.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite restaurants in Marshall? You don't have to name a favorite or give a particular
There's so
order.
many. My daughter's ultimate favorite is New China. They should know our order by heart. When they see my number, they should just write it down. They should know. Like, this is just what she orders every time. So that's her favorite. We like breakfast food, so Break It Dawn Cafe, Bloomfields. We'll eat breakfast anytime. We like Mexico Lindo and La Paz. Leaning Side,
So you like them all.
Montague's, we'll just eat wherever. We like all the food, so we don't discriminate against food.
Yeah, I don't typically either.
I don't enjoy cooking, so
Sure.
we don't mind eating out. Anywhere's fine.
Well, that's about all I've got. Do you have other things you like to do in Marshall? I think you and Kelly both golf pretty regularly.
Just a little bit. We love to play golf. We go to the park all the time. We like to go hiking, so we like to go out to Van Meter or walk in the park or wherever. But I think golf's pretty high on our list of priorities of things we do in the summertime. You can find us on the golf course all summer.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I thought so.
We're a little competitive too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, to wrap it up, what's one piece of advice that you hope you leave with your students and everyone you encounter in the classroom and in the halls? What's one thing if you could be sure that was passed on, what would it be?
I hope they know that all their teachers care about them, that we want them to come back, we want them to be involved in the community and be a part of us. And maybe they decide not to go into teaching, and that's okay too, and don't be shy, come say hi to us, because we miss you guys and we're so happy to have you as students, and we just want the best for everybody.
Yeah, well, good. I always feel welcome at the school. I don't know if that's I don't know. Maybe I just won't let go. But it's always fun to come back and see my old teachers and see what they're doing differently. Or
Old teachers.
Sorry, I walked in that. My former teachers.
I like that better.
And see what they're up to now, and it's all, of course, I always hit you guys up on the soccer field, so it's always great to see you and the Van Winkles and anybody else I run into. So that's all I've got for this episode. I really appreciate you taking the time to visit with me during your break hour here. So what's one way that anybody that's interested in knowing more or following, what's a way that they can, what's your Facebook page and then a way they can contact you?
So our Facebook page is SCCC Educators Rising.
Okay.
And so that's our Facebook page. You can message us on there or comment on there. You can email me at dcallanan@marshallowls.com. And our Instagram is SCCC Ed Rising.
Okay.
So find us on there, like us on social media, follow our posts, see all the awesome things our future teachers are doing, because they're doing great things.
Awesome. Yes, check them out. I follow them already, and it's really cool to see what they're all up to, and a lot of fun and very encouraging, especially with some of the negativity. It's great to follow the positive stuff that's going on. Well, that's a wrap on another great episode of Getting to Know Marshall Moe. As Danielle said, visit the social media pages and feel free to email her with any questions, or if you're interested in donating or seeing how you may be able to help, definitely reach out. So like and support all that. if you know another great teacher that we need to bring onto the show, comment below and tag them so that I can reach out and bring them on board for the next episode. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel on YouTube so that you don't miss the next episode, and subscribe to the Park Bench newsletter so that you'll get all the new events, news, interviews, and anything else that's going on straight to your inbox. And finally, hit the like and share button on Facebook and make sure that none of your friends miss what we're sharing with you. And the last thing, of course, is if you know anyone interested in buying or selling, investing, anything with real estate in the area, definitely reach out to me on my phone, on my cell phone, 660-815-4446, or at the office at Swinger Realtors, 660-886-3388. Thanks again. Tune in next time, and until then, shop local.